Hi, I'm Jack Upchurch. Well, another good video. This video was made in 1987. I went down to Central Florida and went by Claude and Linda's home, visited with them for a little bit, and then we drove on up to St. Augustine and we spent several days up in St. Augustine and got to do a lot of stuff. Went on a tour of the city, trolley ride, went out to the fort and videoed out there on the fort and looked around, and then we came back in town and visited a couple of museums. It was really a fun time. I'd like to go back and do it again. But it's a short video, it's not all that long, and if you'll come and join me, then we'll go down memory lane.
This is Claude and Linda's home here in Merritt Island. Came over and visited with them Friday night. It's now Saturday around 11 o'clock and we're going on up to St. Augustine. And I was wanting the keys to get into the trunk. Nice palm trees. This is a nice place they've got here. It's really been enjoyable down here too. Nice screen porch they've got. It's really nice. Living Claude's old grill. Some big old steaks. Our Christmas cactus. First time it's bloomed in 15 years. This is Linda and Claude's backyard. They got a real big backyard. Real nice. I just want y'all to know that we really enjoyed our stay down here, even though it was short.
Well, we did enjoy it.
Glad to have you. We want y'all to come up and see us too.
We'll work on February. See what
It seems like y'all promised that you're going to. Haven't y'all promised to come up? I think you have too, Claude.
You probably have.
Yeah, I think you have. Claude, I got an old power boat. You can walk out there on the dock.
Yeah. You don't have a bass boat?
Well, I've got a boat that's, I guess it'd be considered a bass boat.
If you had any bass to
yeah,
catch.
ain't no bass there to catch there.
How long you had that camera there?
We got it, what, right? How long we had this now?
Got it right here in the summer.
I guess it was.
I
bought it for work, see, I bought it for work, for training. In fact, I do use it for training. But we take every opportunity we get to use it like this.
How do you use it training?
On kind of role playing.
Oh yeah.
With our recruiters.
Yeah.
Let them interact with each other and then look back at it.
Right.
And say, I should have done this or that.
Right.
That's a good idea.
We used to, just use the tape recorder, and that works to a degree. But the video camera.
We have discussed getting one. I thought maybe.
Well, here we are on Daytona Beach. It's December the 26th, day after Christmas. Santa Claus has come and gone. You see all the tourists here. They don't know it's. They don't realize it's December the 26th, I guess. Bunches, girls in their bikinis. Really neat. Surf's up. Neat.
Oh, look here, we are here. St. Augustine Beach. Coming into the old historical district in St. Augustine. Crossing in a coastal waterway right now.
Stayed Monterey Motel. The carriages. We're going to take a ride on those.
Keep going straight.
We'd like to welcome everybody to St. Augustine, or welcome you back, whichever the case may be, to the nation's oldest city. For the next 45 minutes, I'm going to be telling you about the history of the town as we go along. If anybody has any questions along the tour, feel free to ask. Pedro Menendez of Avila, Spain. St. Augustine was founded 42 years before the Jamestown colonization. It was founded 55 years before the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock, making it the oldest continuously occupied. And when you entered the city of St. Augustine, the first thing that you would have seen on your left is St. George, one of the oldest main streets in the United States. You might want to take a walk down this street after the tour. The building is now an authentic museum. Inside here, you'll find old medicines and remedies that was during that era, but it's in the process of changing hands now. People were laid to rest above ground because of the water tank. Prior to 1763, this site was occupied by the Christian Indian village of Talamado. Buried in here are priests and Spanish missionaries. The last burial took place in 1892. Services every Sunday. Doors are made of
Is this the church that he did?
applications of childbirth. After giving birth to a child, his daughter died at sea on her way to Florida to visit her father. So the devastated Henry Flagler wanted to build the church before a year's anniversary of his daughter's death. So he hired 1,040 craftsmen from around the world. 500 working by day and 500 by night. They completed the church in just 361 days. Henry Flagler, he died in 1913 at the age of 83. Flagler. It is the Ponce de Leon Hotel. This is a winter resort. It was open just 3 months out of the year, January, February, and March. Flagler started building this hotel in 1885, opened it for business January the 10th, 1888. This cost Flagler $2.5 million to build. And Smith. Smith was an amateur architect and one of the founders of the YMCA, which was in Boston. He showed Flagler this poured concrete. Flagler liked the idea, and that's where he started his construction. The building that you see here, Smith built as his private residence in 1883. It's the oldest all-poured concrete structure in the United States. After Smith's death, a statue of Henry Flagler himself here on the left with his hand in his pocket, watching that money. Small man with a big heart. Directly across the street on your immediate right, Flagler built his second hotel, the Alcazar. Hotel, and plus to accommodate the less wealthy. The price to stay in this hotel was only $4 a night. It was opened all year round. The hotel was forced to shut down during the Depression and stayed closed from 1932 until 1946, when a Chicago collector of unusual hobbies, other people's hobbies, O.C. Leitner, bought the building from the city. Augustine was the capital of Spanish Florida, or East Florida. Pensacola, the capital, of course, of West Florida. Pensacola and St. Augustine decided to get together in 1702. That's when the ground floor was constructed by the Spanish people of Coquina. The side path was added in 1774 by a British family. The site's been occupied since the mid-1600s, according to archaeological studies. Now a museum owned by the St. Augustine Historical Society. Right on your right is headquarters for the Florida National Guard today. 1730s, this site was once a part of the bank. The body of water is known as the Matanzas Bay. Matanzas means slaughter. Got its name from the Frenchmen who was slaughtered here by the Spanish people. When Menendez first arrived here, he captured Frenchmen across the Bay Area trying to set up their own colony. They were all scattered about from Fort Caroline. They had established at the mouth of the St. Johns River. Treasury Street on your left here. It's the narrowest street in the city. 6 foot 2 inches wide. The Royal Treasurer is on the street. The Ripley's, believe it or not, the old jail, the First Mission. Much more to be seen in St. Augustine. This concludes this part of the tour, this part of the city. I hope you folks enjoyed it. Thank everybody for riding. Come back and see us. Glad to answer any more.
So we're going to tour the old fort, which is right across the street from our room. All right. It's a big cannon. It's a powder hole. Aim that sucker.
The center of the fort. You can see the fort as a hollow square, the diamond-shaped bastion in the corner. The bastion was so built that cannon fire from it to protect the bastion next to it. To cover that wall and tower. It also covered the west bastion. In turn, cannon in both of these bastions could sweep the walls of our location. Military engineering questions Major Custom.
This one have on it. The other one had 1862 printed on here when it was up.
Okay, we're going on a tour this morning. We're going to swim on the train and everything. We're in St. Augustine today, Sunday. About 1987, about 8:30. So why don't you guys come on and go with us on the tour? They got so many cannons around St. Augustine, people just use them for fence posts around here. Another one there. Some down there. Another one. Another one. Schoolhouse. Cane up there. Back of the schoolhouse.
The outhouse is that way.
Oh, the old outhouse. This is where the old lunchroom was.
Can't be wrong.
It's kind of leaning.
That's out of Coquina too.
Yeah. The rear view of the schoolhouse.
First shaker shingles
Folks, on the back wall are some photos and the class roll from just that reunion. The school itself was built at the end of the 18th century out of cypress and cedar. Put together with handmade nails and wooden pegs, it is the oldest wooden structure in St. Augustine and has never been reconstructed. The stairs behind you are too old and narrow to allow anyone to go up there safely. But there is a mirror so that you can see how my wife and I live.
This is the gates to the city. Across from the gate, looking down the street. Again, you can see the oldest schoolhouse there on the right. This is the gate again. Opened in 1739. Interior. Domes. Stained glass everywhere.
Egyptian roses were entombed in some tombs of the Egyptians, and they were preserved.
The area we were just filming is called the Court of Lions. Okay, we're going to go through the Alcazar Hotel's City Hall, which contains the Leitner Museum. This is a plaque out front. To the front here. Real pretty grounds. And more shrubbery. This is a very nicely landscaped entrance. The plaque on the statue. The entrance here back to the Leitner Museum. The piece there to the left, lower left, I've got one at the house almost identical to that. This is Mr. Leitner. This is Tiffany glass. Tiffany glass. Rather unusual painting of 1896. Titled In the Air. Flying machine, I suppose. All the Venetian glass. Very dark and colorful. Crystal everywhere. room we're in, originally a lounging room. Brenda, here's your dining room set.
Oh, the chandelier. Ooh.
Chandeliers, and more chandeliers. Grand piano. Old salt containers. All salt containers. This is the oldest store. In there. Right, inside the mirror. Well, this old store has got all kind of stuff in it. That's the outboard motor. Oh, that's awesome. This is the church that Flagler built for his daughter. This church was built in 1 year. Fantastic. Inside the church.
Architect.
Inside the church.
Architecture. The church is built in the form of a Latin cross. That's why the pews are arranged this way to fit the shape of the church. The dome of the church is very similar to the dome of St. Mark's Cathedral in Venice, Italy. This dome rises 150 feet in the air. If you look way up inside the dome, you can see the Christ's crown of thorns and the triangle representing the Holy Trinity. The church was built in 1889 as a memorial to Jenny Louise Flagler Benedict, Mr. Flagler's only daughter. At that time, Mr. Flagler, who himself was a Presbyterian, had many artists and workers here in St. Augustine building his famous Winter Resort Hotel and the Grace Methodist Church. So he used many of these same people to build this church, and it was completed in a little less than a year. Now, all of this woodwork everywhere, including the big screens, is hand-carved Santo Domingo mahogany. It was carved by special Bavarian craftsmen, imported by Mr. Flagler especially to work on his hotels. The floors are sienna tile from Italy, all hand-laid by workers brought over on the same ship with the tile from Italy. The bronze double cruciform chandeliers and also the Venetian torches at the ends of the pews originally were gas lights. Now they have all been electrified. The frieze work up on the walls and around the windows was all done by Italian artists. The windows are Tiffany-style glass, and starting with the round sunburst window up at the top of the east wall directly in front of me. Then continuing all the way around into the south section of the sanctuary, they feature the articles of the Apostles' Creed. These windows were made by the Decorative Glass Company of New York City. Now, up behind the central panel of the big mahogany screen at my back is the 4-manual console of our large Aeolian Skinner organ. Our church choir also sits up behind the screen on each side of the organ console. The carved eagle lectern up in the center directly behind me is where the minister conducts most of the service each Sunday. He goes over then to the pulpit at the side, and the hand-carved mahogany shell over the pulpit was put there originally to help with the acoustics. Space for our communion table. On those occasions, the minister and his assistant use lovely hand-carved antique chairs on each side. Now, you're welcome to look around at these things on the main floor. As you go back toward the exit of the church, you will pass the bronze gates far down to the right. They lead into the little mausoleum where Mr. Flagler, his first wife, daughter, and grandchild were laid to rest. We have this interesting little booklet, The Flagler Story, that tells you a lot more about Mr. Flagler and some more about the church. It's a nice picture for $1.40. We also have an offering box on the far out and a contribution. It does help with the maintenance of this building. Now, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Outside in the gardens. A lot of detail.
We're gonna go around and end up on the other side.
Which Flagler and his daughter are buried. And firstborn. This is in the back court.
As always, we'll return to you every 15 minutes.
That's what I was looking for.
The hotel punch the Leon's key.
They completed Volcano Stone, which they quarried right across the river there on Anastasia Island. They quarried over here in great barges, sometimes amongst the size of 2 tons. Just rack it up to whatever size they needed for whatever purpose or not. Of course, he was a world traveler, bringing back oddities and curiosities from 198 countries. Now, for anybody that's done the entire tour and wants to call it a day, the Ramada Inn, the Scottish Inn, and also the
Catching me. Let me take a picture of you.
Sarah.
Well, we're sitting across from the motel. The day is just about drawn to an end. And we've toured everything, been everywhere, done everything. Is there anything left to do?
Shopping.
No, no more shopping. I've shopped out.
I hadn't. We hadn't done much. All I did was get my dishes.
He's going the wrong way! This is the official camp watch. Never wrong.
This is a picture of the motel we stayed in.
Oh, Monterey.
Stayed in that room right up there. Pretty nice. About $50 a night. Clean. And it's convenient to everything.
I think those drinks were kind of hard stuff.
Yeah. This is Ripley's, believe it or not, museum. It really and truly is almost the end of the trail for us. Getting ready to head back now. There's a Vespers Information Center over there. Front view of building here. Yeah, we're going to go take a look at America's oldest mission here in St. Augustine. That's Father Lopez. All the waters here, the shores have oysters. It's real oysters everywhere. No beach at all. If you get out there barefoot. The graveyard. Okay, here we are at the Fountain of Youth. Nana said I should go get me a gallon. Here we are, Fountain of Youth. National Geographic says this is the prettiest street in America.